California Speed hit the arcades in 1998, I actually didn't get a chance to play it until it hit the Nintendo 64 a year later. I remember buying this game shortly after its release. I had the cruis'n Games and the Rush series on the Nintendo 64, so naturally I wanted to own this one too. I was way into the Midway racers that made up the late 90s. As you would imagine by the title, this game has you racing all around California in different areas such as San Francisco, LA, Yosemite, and more. There are a few unique levels that add some excitement to the game, like climbing the top of the Golden Gate in San Francisco or driving along the roller coaster track in Santa Cruz, but for the most part, the tracks can get kind of boring. Cruis'n USA had tons of action, San Francisco Rush had crazy jumps, but in this game, more often than not, you find yourself just driving, with not much going on other than a few slight bends. But that's not to say the game's not fun, 'cause it is. It's not a bad racer, especially not for the time of its release. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe this game uses a tweaked version of the Rush series game engine. It feels similar, but with a lot quicker handling. There's not too much to get the hang of here. It's pretty much just a pick-up-and-play arcade racer. Some of the sceneries on California Speed look pretty good for the Nintendo 64, but having said that, I have to admit this game kind of looks like garbage compared to its original arcade version. This game looked beautiful in the arcade. I mean, it's flawless. It took a pretty big jump down in graphics for the 64. Now that's to be expected, but I just feel it could have looked slightly better on this. This is Silicon Valley, home of Google, eBay, Apple, and giant electronics you can drive through. I've actually been there, I don't remember this. The music is kind of lacking. Some of the songs almost put me to sleep.
On your mark, get set, go!
But there are a few decent ones mixed in there that aren't too bad. The sound effects, that's a different story altogether. They're actually pretty bad. The engines just redline and sound horrible, like they're about to explode. There are quite a few vehicles to choose from in the game, all of which are complete knockoffs of real cars, of course. You've got muscle cars, sports cars, hatchbacks, even an old man in a golf cart. All the cars have pretty much the same handling, but they vary slightly from each other. You also have the ability to change the color of your vehicle, so if you want a pink Cadillac, drive a pink Cadillac. At times it feels like a lot of idea went into this game, but it just didn't really pan out the way they'd planned it. The game almost feels like an unfinished addition to the Rush series. I think by the time California Speed came out, people were over the whole Midway style of arcade racers. It didn't do terribly well, and it's not a memorable game like its big brothers. I've always been a big racing fan, so I do enjoy the game, but if you're not a huge fan of the genre, you probably wouldn't have any interest in California Speed. But if you're like me, it'll kill an hour or so, you might as well pick it up for your collection. It's not expensive.